Congrats on the win. Woo. I don't know why. I knew that when y'all won that Vegas night, I was like, it's up from here, bro. And then there was the staged. Yeah, like you were. Why did you find that tweet? You just went back, like.
Oh, I don't even know. I just scroll my tweets a lot and I remembered that one and I went back to look at it and I was like, wait, this was totally true. And I replied to
I was like, wait a minute. Why am I getting this random notification
it.
from months ago? All right. To get more serious and focus on the games. First off, just how does it feel then to be in upper finals after this win today?
It feels amazing. It genuinely feels so unreal. Like I'm so grateful to be here. It's so cool to play in front of a crowd. When we played against LI, the crowd was just so amazing, and I think I'll never forget that. And I hope to play against Team Solid just to experience the same thing again. Yeah, I mean, I never would have expected this from the start of the split either. Like the bounce back, the comeback that we had to bring to bring us all the way here is just so surreal.
It's very TSM style. We'll put it that way. Okay, and then so before we jump into the past, we'll talk about the match a little bit today. Um Tell me a little bit about the rough start that you guys had on Ascent, right? Down 0-5, a timeout's taken. Do you think it was just you guys getting warmed up, or was there like a serious talking in that timeout, or what happened from a TSM camp's POV?
Absolutely. So we were just not playing our game. Like we were giving up space, playing scared, and the timeout that we called really like brought us back into the game. We were taking space after that, getting active. Um, and that's really what brought it back for us that half.
Amazing, amazing. And then for map two, right? Winthrop, they choose Abyss, the map they just 13-0 to team on to earn their spot in playoffs. And then you come in all of a sudden and like are threatening them to be like 13-0, right? With a 7-0 lead and their attempted comeback. Obviously you can't reveal too much about like your team's plan, but I was curious like how did you feel about that map in particular up against Winthrop coming into the match today? And like how did the day off between Swiss and playoffs help you prepare for it?
I don't think we prepared anything specific for it, but I overheard our coach saying this on the cast, but he was saying that they might have 13 0'd and had two really good attack sides, but that was only when they were starting attack, and
Ooh.
this game we started attack, so that's really what did it for us, I think.
The only anti pick attack.
Yep.
All right, amazing, amazing. Okay, and then like I said, I like to like use my interviews more for like history and stuff since it's kind of weird to ask that during press conferences, and those are usually more about the present. So I feel like you have a fun history because it's all over the place. But obviously a lot of it comes back to like starting in Canada and being. Are you from Toronto? Like,
I am.
okay, cool,
Yeah, I
cool.
was
So
born
yeah,
in to the GTA. Yeah.
amazing, amazing. And so, as a Toronto local, right, there was like the golden days of Valor with T-Val and like lands, and like there was a lot of opportunities, it feels like, to get involved with esports in Toronto specifically. So, I was just curious, like, to you, does that like environment like hold any like special place for you, or did it help like kickstart your passion and like wanting to pursue this line of like work or like competition, I guess, at all?
Absolutely. I remember going to the first ever T-Val LAN, and that's really where I met like so many people, a lot of my friends that I'm still friends with to this day. It's actually funny you mentioned that because at the second T-Val LAN, GMD was there, and I got his signature. I have his signature on like the lanyard somewhere, and now we're teammates, and that's just so unreal too.
Bro, I feel that when I went to my first like Game Changers line or something, I was like taking pictures with all like the players, and now I'm like casting them. So it's like it's crazy to like go from a fan to like then like in the space deep and you can't escape. That's a cool story though. Cool, cool, cool. And then you talked about this a little bit, just like the growth and like over the last year and like how you jumped seemingly from like the tier 3 like up to Ascension and knocking on the door of tier 1. So I was just curious for you, right? Because you've jumped around so many rosters and pug squads, with the only like real home seemingly being that Burger Boy squad for a while, left for a period, came back. I would like if you had to split up your career or like journey in Valorant competitively so far into like chapters or like sections or something, or like if you can think of any like major turning points for you other than we'll say the trial, I'm sure that is one with TSM. Like what would they be to you personally? Like that you just like look back on?
So back when Burger Boys was tier 3, before we won premiere in episode 9 act 3, I think was the act we won. um there was a short stint where I got a trial for Sad Esports when they were in Challengers in 2024, and I made the team, and then I fell asleep, and then I got dropped, and that's a chapter that I'll never forget because that was the first ever time I ever fell asleep through practice, and honestly, I deserved what happened. So I learned from that. That's one chapter.
Like, did
The
you
next
actually
chapter would
wait?
definitely be
Did you actually like fall asleep, or you mean you just like weren't in the server? Like,
no, no. It's funny because we had we'd scheduled a BO3 like scrim block against TSM, and then I fell asleep the night before and I didn't wake up on time.
oh, the
And
irony.
yeah, that's definitely a
Okay,
chapter
I
for
was making
sure.
sure. I was making sure. I didn't because like falling asleep can also mean just like didn't
No,
perform to
yeah,
your level.
no.
Okay, anyways, moving on.
I
Chapter
just fell
two.
asleep. Chapter two would after I got dropped, I went back to Burger Boys, and I think no, honestly, I think after that I took like a break for a short while, and I think I learned a lot about myself in that break, like about what my goals were actually as a player. Like back then, I used to try and stop getting anxious by just pretending I didn't care. And that break is when I learned I actually care about this. Um, and then I joined Burger Boys again. We made challengers. We had a rough first split where we almost got relegated. And then I think the most important chapter, other than this chapter right now, would be placing third in split two, which actually is what led me here and getting this trial and being on this team. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's a perfect segue because I know you talked a lot about, in especially other interviews, that like being third place with Burger Boys is what got you the trial opportunity with TSM. But I wanted you to talk a little bit more about how trialing with TSM itself went. Like, not obviously the process, you can explain that if you want, but more just like when you tried, where you're like, wait a minute, we're kind of clicking with this team. Like, did you not expect to get picked up, or did you be like, oh, I nailed it? Like, what was your mental, like, did it come as a surprise to be that player that got signed for the last stage, or like, how did that whole process feel for you as a player?
I remember getting like a bunch of days in a row trialing with the team, and I was playing pretty well in those trials, and I was pretty happy with how I played. And then they were trialing some other people for like 2 weeks, and I was like, oh shoot, I don't maybe I messed up or something. And then they brought me back the next week after that, and I played so like mid,
Oh.
and I was low key crashing out. I was at my friend's. I was trialing for my friend's house, and I was just crashing out like, oh, I must have messed up. Um, and then that same like the next day they messaged me like, welcome to the team. You have the spot if you want it. And I was just like, oh my god. So it was so surreal going from Burger Boys to TSM. It was incredible.
Oh, nice, nice, amazing. And you've talked a lot about like the current team and like how you kind of gel with each of them. But I was curious, how would you like describe the difference in environment between Burger Boys, obviously for each roster, like you've gone in with them, like you've had similar experiences now to TSM so far, to then like the TSM and like the more structured organization in tier two.
Um, so on Burger Boys, we never really had a coach, so we were
Yeah.
just like just having fun with each other and playing like with full passion. Um, but on TSM, when I first joined, I thought it was going to be the most like strict, like structured environment ever. And while NBS does bring like unreal amounts of structure and discipline to the team, um, as we've been on the team together, the longer I've been on the team, the more I felt like this team is like family. And now we just have so much fun. I have fun when I'm playing now, just like I was on when I was on Burger Boys. It feels the same, honestly, and it's honestly so amazing. I'm so happy.
Nice, nice. And we're about at time, so we'll kind of leave it now looking towards the future. Does it surprise you or does it feel weird at all to be like tournament favorites now, especially after this win? That's kind of how the broadcast has referred to you, especially since I feel like TSM has kind of been underdogs, Burger Boys has been underdogs, and like how are you feeling like on the positive outlook for like upper finals and grand finals and that prospect of the future?
Yeah, that's crazy. I think I try not to think about things like that because being the favorites means you don't want to get upset, and
Mm.
I knew how that felt when we first started the split. We got upset twice, and
Shopify Rebellion goal.
yep, just playing to not lose because you're the favorites is just so bad
Yeah.
that honestly, I mean, it does feel unreal to be the favorites too. I mean, yeah, I just hope to play against Team Solid because I want to play against the other regions more. I'm honestly sad we didn't get to play against LATAM a single time.
All right. Well, thank you for the interview. Congrats again on the win, and good luck in upper finals and hopefully grand finals.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah. Bye
much.
bye. Good night.
Bye.